really want to start with a sincere congrats on the series. I thought you guys were both so fantastic. Thank you. Shawn does not suck as a director.
Thank you. No, he's pretty good.
He's all right.
Right, exactly. Let's not let the ego get too much bigger for him.
Yeah.
So I am curious, though. You never know how people are going to react to something. And so this has been the number one thing on Netflix for, I think, 2 weeks now. What is that like for you guys after putting in such hard work to bring this to life? I guess it's always a little overwhelming. I mean, when you when you do something, you put so much work into it and you pour your heart and your soul into it, and you just hope for the best outcome, and you hope for as many people as possible being touched and connecting to the story. And then when it actually happens, it's it's just really rewarding and beautiful. Beautiful. It's an honor for us to be able to to spend so much time making something that people can watch in their free time, and they could do anything with their free time, and they chose to spend it with something we made. It feels maybe a little unreal. Maybe it's not true. Maybe this is all a giant hoax. I don't know, but it's spectacular. It's so cool. When you realized what the shoot was going to entail and what you were going to be doing, what was the day that you had circled in terms of, I'm really nervous to film this, or I'm really excited to film? No. That's a good question. That's a very good question. Okay. So the one scene that I was absolutely terrified to do, Mark and I had this in common, was the scene where Daniel says goodbye to Marie. We were just dreading that scene. Oh my God. And it's not in comparison to the rest of the show, it's not that much of an exertion of emotion, but it was just so hard on both of us, I think. So that was what I was dreading the most. And the one that I was looking forward to the most was the dunking with Lars. Yeah. It's just so funny that's the scene you were looking forward to the most. I don't know. That's my safe space, is apparently torture scenes. I don't know. No, my safe space is physical stuff, because I come from a dance background, a martial arts background. So that was something I could latch onto and be heck yes, I can do this. I might not know how this acting thing works and the set thing works yet, but I can do that. And it's really funny, because that was what shocked a lot of people. It wasn't just you. Yeah. That's the thing you take comfort in? Weirdo. Oh my God. I remember on my birthday, sorry, real quick, on my birthday, Joshy, the little Josh, the cast AD, he collected videos from the whole team and the cast to send to me for my birthday, which is really lovely. And your video was from the grotto. Yeah. And I was still crying. You still had the best time, and you looked so alive. I know. And you build up these tears, and it's not natural to just shut them down. So I was still crying, did Lewis's happy birthday song or whatever it was. I'm in tears, bouncing up and down like a little kid. Yeah. And there was a unicorn floaty going by, because the crew surprised me at the end of that sequence with a unicorn floaty. It's really great. Wait, you didn't share which scene for you? That's true. I think the scene I was looking forward to the most was the one with Schmidt, where Werner tells his story, because it's most of the character is quite reacting and quite passive, I suppose. And I just loved him getting active, taking the lead in a scene, and being able to share the story. And that was something I thoroughly enjoyed. And you really pumped up your scene with Hugh too. You were so excited for that leading up to it. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I love Hugh. He's so sweet. And scared, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, Shawn and the whole team and the whole cast, everyone was so incredibly welcoming. Mm-hmm. And we could have felt a huge amount of pressure. And funny enough, it was just a big blast every day to be on set, even though the topic was dark, even though it was a heavy material, but I had such a good time on it. Yeah, we all enjoyed it, and I think it shows. I'm curious, for now fans of this series, what do you think they would be surprised to learn about the making of the show? The amount of dad jokes that Mark Ruffalo and I did between takes. Yeah. Embarrassing, really bad jokes that nobody laughed at, but we were hysterical over. they'd be shocked about that.
Yeah, and the whole cast was sort of mocking Hugh and his accent.
Yes.
My name is Hugh Laurie, and tonight I'm going to tell you all the things, all the beautiful things in life.
Professor, and you, boy, must be fearless.
Yeah.
Yes, we Hugh knows we do this. It's okay.
Yeah, but that was an ongoing joke.
And the amount of times we weren't actually together in scenes. So like episode 4, Lars's coverage, my coverage, and Lewis's coverage was all done on different days. And so the crew would do our voices for whoever was on screen.
Oh, yeah, true.
So that was really funny. There should be a blooper reel of that somewhere, of Shawn being like, "It's Werner, Maria, I'm here to rescue you." It was great. Shawn did great. Did a good Werner.
Yeah, again, you need to not inflate that ego. It's very important. You know? Very, very important. So I'm sure you guys were familiar with the book. Was there anything in the book that you really felt like this has to be in the series, or are we really happy that it was in the series? You know what I mean?
Oh gosh, I think what I was really excited about, because it's so visual, is that opening scene in the book where the leaflets come down for Marie, and she goes to the window, she feels the leaflet, she can feel the imprint, the pressed paper. She knows something is written on it, but she can't see it. And her fingers aren't sensitive enough to actually read it with her fingers. So she doesn't know what it says, but she knows something dangerous is happening.
Yeah.
And that was such a vivid scene in the book. And it literally gets brought to life on screen exactly as it's written. And so I was really excited about that. And one scene that we didn't do that I was actually I was hopeful that we would do, but never was in the script, is a scene between Marie and Etienne, where Etienne is reading to her from The Voyage of the Beagle. And they're like crafting this little fictional universe together, and they're playing make-believe, and it gets Etienne out of his shell. And then they like put on Vivaldi, and they just have a jam and dance session together. And it's like Etienne breaking out of his oyster shell. And I'm sad that didn't make it to screen, but I can see why, because the series is so tight and action packed. I see why it didn't make it, but that was a scene I really liked in the book.
We actually shot one scene with Friedrich, which might be news to some of the fans of the show. And
he was fantastic as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't make it, into the cut, which was a little sad, but I'm sure there were plenty of good reasons. Again, Shawn knows what he's doing. Don't tell him he's good. But that was something that I was really excited about when we shot it.
Yeah.
And then I was a little sad about
that storyline is really,
Yeah. Aria, I definitely have to ask you about being cast, because Shawn, again, speaking about Shawn, he posted a video of you, reacting to getting cast. And it's pretty crazy that you got this role. So at what point did you ever think in the auditioning process that you had a chance?
No.
Or was this just sort of like a test run for the future?
No,
Yeah,
I had
a funny story,
no idea. I was having a really rotten week, and in many ways a really rotten year. My mental health was completely tanked. I fought my whole life to get access to an education, and I had finally made it. And at the same time, I was just really grateful to be there, but I wasn't happy, and I didn't know why. And I literally went on the audition because I was having a bad day, and someone told me about it, and I was like, if you're having a bad day, just read from your favorite book. It'll maybe this will be a fun thing. I didn't have any friends where I was. I had just moved. And so I literally recorded Mark's lines on my iPad, leaving space in between for me to do Marie's lines, and then got on camera, did the Marie lines, and just sent my first take to the casting people. And I didn't think anyone would ever see it. And then like a day later, I got called back. And then I kept getting called back. And then I was like, oh boy, I should tell my mother. And I was like,
Wait,
maybe.
you hadn't told
I hadn't told my mother until I met with Shawn for the first time. And that's when I'm like, I should probably tell her, because it was like one of her favorite books.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Never once thought, actually had like planned the speech with my mom, thanking them for doing an authentic casting search, hoping that they'd still hire someone who was blind or low vision, and asking if they thought I was good enough to audition for community theater. Never gave the speech. I don't know what happened. Now 300 million people have access to my audition tape, apparently, according to Shawn's statistic. So,
and Shawn never lies.
Crazy.
when it comes to statistics.
He said 300 million people will have access to, why is he transatlantic? I don't know. 300 million people will have access to your audition tape. I don't know where he got that one, but that's what he told me like a year ago. And I'm like, now it's out in the world. And it's really crazy to see how raw it is and how I was like at the beginning of that journey and found the career I always wanted and didn't know that I needed. And it makes me so happy. It's the first time in my life I've like universally been happy. It's wild. I don't even know.
That's amazing.
So cool.
I am really super happy for you, sincerely. And as I said at the beginning, you guys are both fantastic in this. And it's a huge hit, so I don't have to say wish you well. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
Of course. Thank you so much. Have a good day.